Good morning, you two. We over here leaving Florida. It was a nice vacation. I ended up dropping a load on Thursday in Deltona, Florida. Then I parked my truck. I got a rental. I went and visited some friends, family. Uh, had a great time. Had a great time. Like I said, I was trying to go home from Pennsylvania, but it wasn't no loads going Midwest. They was paying decent money. So the best load that I found was one going to Florida. So I said, you know what? I just go down there, spend July 4th weekend, and have a good time. Got an Airbnb, few places, and up going to Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Orlando, and Jacksonville. Uh, so yeah, I got a load picking up tomorrow in South Carolina, about 100 miles from where I park in Jacksonville. It's going to PA, Pennsylvania. It's paying decent money. I pick it up tomorrow. Uh, if I'm able to drop it tomorrow, I can. If not, I drop it on Tuesday morning, which is good. Then from there, contemplating, they got a few loads going to Idaho. They got a lot of loads going to Florida, but I really don't want to go back down to Florida. I mean, I'm tired of 95. I'm tired of basically, the East Coast for now. I mean, I want to kind of move somewhere where it's not that much traffic. Uh, you know, this not telling you this 95 south and north constructions. I mean, it's been rough. Coming through the down 95, uh, both ways. When I was coming down, now I'm going up. Everybody July 4th weekend over, so a lot of people, they live in Florida, going to wherever they live. Driving or I know a lot of people take planes, but some people that live close by, maybe in Georgia or South Carolina, North Carolina, that goes down to Florida, they probably drive. But yeah, the highway is pretty heavy traffic. You know, a lot of construction, and I just had enough of it. For the week, I just had enough of 95, uh, even 81. 70, 81. All those routes, they go through Nashville, Atlanta. Uh, and I had enough. Going through Nashville, man, it's telling you, it's one of the worst places. I think for me that I don't like to go through, but it's a lot of good loads that go through there. Uh, but I hate it. I try to hit Nashville at nighttime, and even at nighttime, it's traffic. It's construction all over. The same thing with Atlanta. I mean, it's terrible. Uh, you know, I just had enough for the last 2 weeks. I've been in New York City, a lot of traffic. I've been to Nashville, a lot of traffic. Atlanta, a lot of traffic. Been to Charlotte, a lot of traffic. I just want to go, somewhere where it's not that crowded, like the West Coast. Not the West Coast, but more like the mountains. Where I just could drive 2,000 miles and relax, do my 9 hours driving or 10 hours, whatever I feel like doing that day, and stopping because I'm burnt out. From the east, and yeah. But yeah, guys, man, I've been watching some shows, man, and some people that I follow, man, and they turn to recruiters, and man, I hear some people recruiting saying, "Hey, you're gonna make $2,000 a week over here, gross 4,000." Man, listen, if you're gonna make $2,000 a week as an owner operator, don't come to be an owner operator, man, for $2,000. You might as well stay as a company driver. I used to make that with JB Hunt when I was a company driver, uh, and I was doing that count for CNS wholesale in Vermont. I mean, I used to gross 18, 21 every week. You know, I mean, I think that's one of the best accounts JB Hunt got as for company drivers that I know. They might be better, but at least that I knew. When I was living in Massachusetts, I was living in the border with Vermont, so I took that job when I left Snyder. Uh, and I tell you, it was a great supervisor, great dispatchers, great people, man. Shout out to all of them if they're watching this video. You know, but yeah, man. Honestly, if you're an operator and you're making $2,000 a week, I mean, $2,000 is money, but honestly, it's not worth it. If it comes to the point that you're gonna make that I'm, like I said, man, I gotta make more than 3,500 a week. Uh, you know, and I take my days off. I take 4 days off, but last week I did a low for uh, 3,700. No. That yeah, 3,700. Then I went down and I went up to Pennsylvania. Yeah. I did that to New York. Then I took one from Pennsylvania coming down to Florida, paying 2,000 something. And now this one that I pick up tomorrow, I'm making 1,500 going from South Carolina to York, PA. But man, don't let people recruit you for $2,000, man. Don't do it. I mean, if you are an operator, you got your own truck. It's better companies out there, man, that you can make more money, man. Even JB Hunt, you make more money as an owner operator than $2,000. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, I see some people, recruiting, and Jesus, I'm like, man, how the hell they even mention, $2,000 an owner operator is good money. Not it's not. Not with all the responsibilities you got, all the, I mean, honestly, for $2,000, I say as a company driver, I don't worry about the truck. I don't worry about nothing. All the maintenance you got to do to your truck. I mean, it's not worth it, man. So don't fall for that. If you got your own truck, man, and you need a decent company, this company is decent. It might not be the best out there, but it's up there. Like I said, man, I came here. Uh, I left Landstar. My spirit with Landstar wasn't that great. I'll be honest. But for some people work. I mean, Landstar got loads, and you know, but it wasn't my fit. It wasn't for me. Uh, so, but I mean, I know there's a lot of people in Landstar making good money. Definitely, they got great fuel discounts. They got loads. The only problem with Landstar, man, like I say, is the trailers, man. Trailers, you always getting trailers that need inspection. You do a drop and hook, you know, to get an empty, you go there, there's no empty. Now you gotta wait a few days to get an empty. So that for me didn't work out, But I mean, besides that, Landstar it's a great company. I mean, probably one of the best. Many people think it's the best. I mean, I'll be honest. Mercer is a decent company. It's very laid back, very you know the truck drivers. They even when you're in the yard in Louisville, they welcome you. They say welcome to Mercer. Honestly, I didn't get none of that stuff at Landstar when I went to Landstar. To be honest, shit. Well, Mercer, they do barbecues, grill, and it's like it's a cool environment. Even the staff, man, the staff is pretty decent. I mean, like any company, he got his flaws. Mercer doesn't have the same volume the Lancer have. That's just being real. But they do got enough volume to keep the drivers moving. Uh, it's a lot of lows. Uh, you see a lot of lows just like Landstar, but they're not paying that great. So sometimes you gotta wait. Because I'll be honest, I'm not hauling, I'm not taking any low for a dollar under $1.30. I don't care if I gotta go home. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna move my truck and make somebody else money and I'm not making money. That's not gonna happen. That's here Mercer, the same thing at Landstar, right? They got the same load. So sometimes you gotta wait, and not wait, like a day, but just wait through the day to book a load. Because Mercer, they put loads in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, through the day. So sometimes you just gotta, but you could book your loads. You could book 4 or 5 loads with Mercer uh, ahead of time. What the problem with that is, if one of them cancel, then you stuck. You're already committed to the other loads, and that might be a problem. But yeah, like I said, man, it's so sad, man. That hey, I respect the hustle, man. I respect recruiters out there, drivers that work for a company. I mean, the owner operator with a company, with a leasing company, and they try to recruit people. I get it, man. They gotta make money, but just be real with people, man, because you got people they're gonna get in trucks they can't even afford, and I mean, you telling them that they're gonna make $2,000, man. Don't do that. You know, I had a local job with JB Hunt, making that a week. You know, uh, shit. If that's what I was gonna make as an owner operator, I would never been an owner operator. You know, I came to be an owner operator because I want to gross $250,000 a year. And it's doable. Some owner operators that make more money. Others may less. You got a lot of retired people, man. All the truck drivers that they just take 1 load a week, 2 loads a week just to pay the bills, and then they go home. I met a few guys like that, Mercer. Uh, One guy from actually when I got my first load coming out of Louisville, he was there picking up some forklift with me, and he was going to Canada. I think that load paid him like almost $7,000. Going to Canada. He had like 3 stops in Canada, but he said, "Man, I just do 1 load a week." He said, "When I come back, if I don't find something that pay over $2, I just head home." From Canada. I was like, "Shit," you know. He said, "Yeah, that's what I do." But he got his truck paid. He got his house paid. He said, he could do that. You know. But like I said, man, I think if you got your own truck, man, you see, even it's a lot of small companies out there, man. The owner operators, They give you 80%, 90%. I mean 87%. Uh, I know some people, man. They are operators with small companies, and they always got freight. They always got freight. So don't go to major careers, man. And for $2,000, man, it's not worth it. Uh, like I say, I could talk as far as a JB Hunt because I was there as an owner operator, and I was making good money, with JB Hunt. I don't got nothing bad to say about JB Hunt, but to be real, I mean, Landstar and Mercer are better as far as for owner operator than JB Hunt. Just the fuel discounts. I mean, the fuel discounts, the loads, uh, you got more chance to make more money. Because, in reality, JB Home doesn't pay that much for loads over 700 miles. They're not going to pay you that much. I mean, they probably put in the board for $2. They're going to take 35%. That's 70 cents. You're making $1.30 a mile. And, that's coming with JB Hunt. I'm telling you, because I did it, and I was driving hard, to gross 5,000, 6,000 a week, 45, 55, but it was doable. You could do it. I mean, you just got to stay out there. That's the bottom line. I got some guys that write comments and tell, one of them told me he was coming to Mercer. Then he said he's going to stay with JB Hunt. Listen, man, like I say, I don't recruit nobody. Now, if my video help you any kind of way and you want to put me as a referral, my truck number is 24835. 24835, right? And, but if you think, where you at is better place, man, stay where you at. Not every company is for everybody. Everybody got different way of doing things in life. So what might work for me, might not work for you. I mean, I know there's plenty of people that probably my class when I started with Landstar, they probably still there, and they probably doing good. I wish them the best. I mean, like I say, I don't got nothing against Landstar. I think it's a great company. It wasn't for me. You know, as far as Mercer, I feel more like, I don't know, like you're a person. You're not a truck number. You know, uh, people talk to you by name. They know you. A smaller company, obviously, in Landstar. Got less owner operators. I mean, and another thing, man, about Mercer is how you get paid, man. I mean, same day, or the next day, the latest. Shit, that's lovely seeing your bank account every day getting money. That's beautiful. You know, and I like that. They got good fuel discounts. I mean, I think probably Landstar got better discounts. They're about the same, but I think Landstar got better discounts, if I'm not mistaken. But the only thing with Mercer that we don't pay IFTA taxes. Mercer take care of that. You know, with Landstar you got to pay yourself. That money coming out of your account, out of whatever you do. And the same thing with Landstar, man. They charge you for everything. Everything is a fee. You send the bill of landings, it's $2. You send the proof of delivery, $2. You put money in your fuel card, it's $2. You take money out of your fuel card to your bank, it's $2. Everything is $2, man. And it's 35% they take out. That should be all included there, man. I did the math, man. And with Mercer, I got 75%. It's true that I gotta pay for to rent the trailer, 675, but I did the math. What I gross a week, that 10%, a month, it was like 2,500 that I was losing, minimum. You know, a month. Now here, it's money that I keep in myself in my bank, and I pay Mercer, their rental for the trailer, and they take care of the maintenance. You know, I don't have to worry about the maintenance of the trailer. Anything happen to a trailer, they take care of it. Unless it's your fault, something you did, that, you shouldn't do, then you might be liable for it. But yeah, man, trucking been crazy lately, man. I saw the news about Spanish guy shooting an box truck driver, man. I really don't want to comment that situation because I don't know the person, man. Somebody lost their life, and it's sad, man. And I'm telling you, man, that was a wake up call for me because sometimes, man, I'll be arguing with other truck drivers, and you don't know, the danger you could put yourself. Look at that situation. That guy had a gun and killed the other person. It's sad, man, and you know, I mean, it's rough, man. But hopefully, that was a learning experience for me. When I saw that news, I was like, whoa, I gotta slow down. I gotta stop arguing with people. I gotta relax, man. People are gonna do what they're gonna do regardless, man. They're gonna call you off. They want to pass you. Their truck only goes 65. They want to pass you. Your truck go, my truck will go to 75, 76, whatever I want. But they want to pass you, and I'm going 67, and they go to the next lane, try to pass me. They can't. So I'm not gonna slow down because you decide you want to be in my side, and I'm faster than you. I'm not gonna slow down. I'm going 67. And then we see each other in the traffic at the front, and they wave the finger at you. Like I wasn't not letting you, pass me. It's your truck. Don't blame me for. You should know what your truck could do. Don't blame me for that. I mean, just because you want to hang out in my tail and you don't got the speed, I'm not even thinking about you. I just minding my business, driving. Obviously, I'm making sure I look in the mirrors, and I know you're behind me. You're next to me. But hey, if you can't pass the the other truck, and you only could go 64, 65, man, stay in your lane. Relax, man. It's nothing you're gonna do. You're gonna make a difference. You could only go 64 or 65, whatever it is, right? Or even 67. Some people 68, whatever. But yeah, man, it's I'm gonna be making a video soon about JB Hunt, Landstar, and Mercer. Like I said, I'm new, still here. I've been here 3 weeks now. I was 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks. I was on orientation for 2 days, but I was at the yard like for four days, and then I just took Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So that's another 4 days. So that's basically almost 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks, a week off and a day. So I'm gonna show you guys what I gross for the month that my first 30 days with Mercer. Like I say, for those weeks, it's up there. I think I'm close to 20,000. 20,000. Like I say, Out of those 4 weeks, I probably ran three, if that, you know. But yeah, I will show you guys the screen, what it shows there, what the truck got paid. That way you guys could know. The time I was in Landstar, be honest, I grows the weeks that I was there. I made 5,055, 5,000 to the truck. Getting paid in my bank. So I did well with Landstar. I could have did better, but just the trailer situation, it was rough. And their system, the way they talk. I'm not gonna say nothing negative, man, but I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. Here at Mercer, man, you get a coordinator. They help you. Uh, I'll be honest, man. My first impression with my coordinator, it wasn't that great. I booked my own loads for the most part. I think I book every load. I call the agents. I talk to them. Do everything myself. Uh, you know, but I got a coordinator. Sometimes you got to talk to him about situations. With the load or whatever. Uh, I still learning the person. You know, I don't feel comfortable. To be honest, that's just me. I don't like to rely on somebody else. Man, that's nice. People in the boat right there in that little island, relaxing. That's beautiful. Right in the water. Right in the water. Yeah, but uh, you know, some people got great coordinators. I'm not saying my coordinator is bad. It just might be me. I just not feeling it. I prefer to do my own things. You know. But yeah, guys, it's a new week. The last week of July, I'm gonna take off too. So I'm taking a lot of time off, but I have to do it. I'm making some changes, uh, living changes. So I gotta take a few days off and take care of the situation. Uh, but yeah, guys, I'll be honest, man. I came to Mercer. I was gonna go with my friend. Uh, he got his own NC. You know, he's a good guy. I actually referred a couple to him. They went with him to work under his NC. And that's what I was gonna do. But the thing with it was that I had to wait like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was like, man, I'm not waiting. I can't, I can't wait. I don't like to have my truck sitting down. I need the money. So I came to Mercer, and so far so good. With him, it was gonna be more like a spot market, and he got some few uh, direct freight. But yeah, I would have loved to, you know, going with him, but I came to Mercer, and like I said, Mercer is not. It's not. I'm moving, man. I'm making money. So as long as I'm making money, I'm happy. I'm moving. I'll be honest. A big difference with the agents in Landstar. You got a lot of foreigners. A lot of foreigners agents. Uh, with Mercer, you got more domestic agents, right, from the United States. And you build relationships. Obviously, here at Mercer, they got to put the low on the board. They can't just assign it to you. They got to put it there. In Landstar, once you build a relationship with a broker, the brokers call you, and pretty sure a lot of guys that been there for years, they don't even look at the low board no more because they already got freight direct, with the brokers, which is fine, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, yeah, Mercer, you build relationships too, but the brokers still got to put the low in the board, you know. So you know that's just the way it is, right? And then the Mercer got that first thing. The whoever is first in the area, that low, he get first choice, right? If he been sitting there and you just got there, he gets first choice. However, you could book you lows ahead of time, and you don't got to go through that situation, right? Once you get the lows assigned to you, they your lows, so you don't have to really go through that. I mean, that haven't affect me at all. I don't think it really affect anybody, to be honest with you. But that's that's just the way Mercer do their thing, which is cool. Like I said, it don't bother me. It doesn't affect me. Uh, every load that I really been after so far, I've been able to book it. So, I haven't had no issues, right? Oh yeah, guys. Like I said, man, subscribe, like the video, uh, and man, listen, be out here and just breathe hard, man. Don't get mad. Don't lose your mind. Don't do nothing crazy, man. Cause man, you don't know what the other driver could do or what you could do, but just being angry, and then you're gonna regret it after the fact, and it's too late. Whatever is done is done. So try to stay positive, man. And I know it's hard. Believe me, I'm a hard headed myself. I mean, sometimes people do some dumb things, and I look and I'm like, fuck, and I get mad and shit. But it's not really worth it, man. It's not really worth it at all. You know, we already deal with enough stress, staying out of the house, dealing with the cheapers, the receivers, drivers. It's not worth it getting yourself, man, problems with the law. You know, once you sit in that prison, you're gonna be like, damn, man, fuck. I wish I would have, think twice, right? So, man, just stay positive, man. Listen to me and YouTube. Listen to my videos, and stay positive, man. Listen to other people, whoever you like out there. But like I said, man, like and subscribe. Subscribe, like, and you know, do a research. Wherever if you guys want to be on operator, do a research. Uh, you know, do a research with the company. Talk to the drivers, man. Talk to the owner operators that work for those companies. You want to see them at the truck stops. Just go pull up to them and be like, listen, man, I consider going to that company. What you think of it? I'm in this company. I'm making so much, and you might get somebody that be straight up, be like, listen, man, you probably better off staying where you at, or it might want to tell you, hey, man, you do better over here. So like I said, do a research. The same thing, man, with the list purchase programs. Do your research. If you got $5,000 down, man, you could get a used truck from Arrowhead International used truck sales, Pedigree, a lot of different places, man. You could get Long Mountain, and you got a monthly payment, man. But if your only option is to get a lease purchase, hey, I'm not saying don't do it. Just know that you gotta be in the truck and that you gotta go hard, man. And that payment won't stop. You take a vacation, that payment won't stop, man. Like I said, with this, you know, I understand, man. Everybody is not in a financial situation to have $5,000, but I believe if you really want something in life, man, and you discipline yourself, you could really keep working, save that money, and be able to do it, man. Because a lot of those list purchase programs, you still got to put a down payment. Not all of them, not every list purchase. I mean, I think Swift got Snyder. I mean, SFI, Prime. Other companies. I mean, some people make money. They do well, but like I said, man, I think you got better opportunities working for a company that you just owner operator. You're not competing with company drivers because obviously, the best lows, the company gonna keep them for the drivers because they pay those drivers, let's say 65 cents a mile. So if that low paid, let's say $4, the company's making $3 a mile. They're profiting because those companies, they got boards, man. They got stocks. It's all about making profit. And yeah, they're gonna put lows, in the low board, but they're not gonna put the best lows. Not JB Hunt, not Swift, no Prime, not anybody, man. They got company drivers. That's not, and I'm not talking bad about those companies, but that's just the business, man. That's the business nature. You know, in a company like Mercer or Landstar, they don't got no company drivers, so they're gonna put whatever they got in that low board. Good or bad, they're gonna put it there. Because they made money when we made money. You know, when you work for an operator company, you don't have to be Landstar or Mercer. You make the only way they make money is when you pull lows because they get a percentage of whatever you pull in. That's the difference between uh, working for mega careers and working for owner operator company. You don't have to fight for freight. I mean, not fight, but you got better options working with an owner operator company because every low is gonna be in the low board. It's not like a listen, man. If I was out on a JB Hunt, I do the same thing they're doing. The best lows, I keep them for my guys. You know, because I pay them. You know, 60, 70 cents. I don't know, whatever they make, right? And then, the low pay $4. I'm making $3.30, right? Granted, JB Hunt got to pay the trailer, got to pay insurance, got to pay fuel, but they still profiting $2, right? And I'm using JB Hunt as a sample because I used to work for him. And you can't blame them, man. That's just nature of business. That's just the nature of business. And JB Hunt or let's find whatever. They're gonna favor the company drivers. That's just the bottom line. That's just the sense of business, man. That's just how business works. You can't blame them for doing that, you know. And that is what it is. That's reality, man. That's just the reality of the game, you know. Uh, Whatever you see in the low boards for owner operators with those companies is either lows they're not regional that their drivers can cover because or it's low the the exceed the miles or being regional and the drivers can do it or lows that they can be covered, right? Because they probably got out of freight, so they got to put in the low board. That's what the owner operators in those companies does. They cover whatever the company drivers can do. That's the freight they get, and that's the bottom line. You're not gonna get a dedicated counts. You're not gonna get the big money lows, contract lows they got. You're not gonna get it. And I'm not talking shit because I'm not with them no more. Like I said, man, I was with JB Hunt, but I knew the game. You gotta know the game. You have to know the game. and no, and and I was fine with that because I felt that JB Hunt got the freight, and they do. They got the freight. They got freight. They just not paying that great. I mean, their prices went down, and I couldn't take it no more. I was like, man, I'm done. I mean, because you got to realize a load that paid $3 after the 35%, you making $1.85, right? They taking $1.15 out of it, or $1.05. I mean, you make 1.95, right? You're never gonna make the $3. And I mean, same thing with with Mercer. Out of $3, they take what, 75 cents. You make 225. It's a big difference. You know, with Landstar, the same thing. $3, you're gonna make $1.95. You know, so I follow wherever I could make more revenue. If I would have went with my friend, I was gonna make what, 85%. I would have made more money with him. You know, and shit, that's why I was gonna go with him because I had a way to increase my revenue, and that's what I'm out here for, man. I'm out here to make money. I'm not out here just to get behind a wheel and just look at you know, the country. I'm here to make money, man. Because you don't know how long you got doing this, right? I mean, like I say, those things are things you got to think about, man. You gotta know that those big companies, man, they're out there for revenue. They got to make it. They got stock members, man. They got boards, and all they care about it is how to profit. How to make money, and you can't blame them, man. That's just business. That's how business works. You know, so I apply the same thing. I go with a company where I could make more profit, keep more money, and it worked for me, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to do whatever is best for you. Because those companies, they don't care. I mean, you leave, they're gonna find somebody else. Every company, even Mercer, Landstar, any company. That's just how it is in life. So you got to do whatever is best for you. For you, for yourself, for your family, whatever works best for you. You know, you can't think, oh man, I'm gonna stay with this company. You're not doing great. No, man, if you're not doing great, don't be scared to move, man. Just leave your doors open. If it doesn't work, you can always go back. Like me, I could go to JB Hunt anytime. Same thing with Lance. I could go back. But I like to move forward. I don't like to move backwards. So I'm gonna write it out here and see how it goes. And like I say, so far so good. It's not perfect. There's no perfect company out there. To be honest with you guys, there's not a perfect company out there. You know, there's not. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go, man. This video is almost 45 minutes. Have a blessed week. Stay positive, man. Stay cool. Don't feed into the road rage out here, man. Even road rage in the chippers, receivers, man. Just play it cool, man. Just play it cool, man. Just play it cool, man. Play it cool and stay positive, man. Always do your pre-trip, your post-trip, man. Uh, you know, check your truck, man. It's very important, man. Post-trip, you could catch a lot of things, man, that might have happened in your trip and during the trip, and you be able to catch it after you stop. And then after you stop, you able to, fix it right there. You don't gotta wait till the next day when you're ready to leave, and you're gonna be late. If you do your post trip, you could catch a lot of things and fix it. During your 10 hours reset, right? And that way you cut it, and when you won't be late for your appointment. And listen, I mean, I know we don't catch everything. Sometimes things happen, and it is what it is. But it's always good to do your pre-trip and post-trip, man. You know. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna cut it here short. Have a blessed week. God bless everybody. Stay positive. Like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe, man. Let's build this channel. Let's grow, and let's keep trucking.